Welcome to the Improvement Project podcast. My name's Nick.
I'm Jay.
And on this episode, we're just going to call it the pilot. We're just going to talk about what we're going to be talking about in the future and how we met. And essentially, we're just going to shoot the shit for your entertainment. So essentially what we're going to be talking about in these podcast episodes is fitness, nursing, self-improvement, mindset, in general, leveling up as well. Me and Jeremy, we're both nurses, and that's how we met. And I knew this guy was going to be my boy,
Yeah.
no homo, from the second that I saw him just walk around the hallway. I just saw another Italian guy with tattoos, and I was like, yo, that guy's probably going to be my boy. But we didn't actually wind up speaking to each other until probably about a year into, right?
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this right before we started recording, and I'm like, yo, we got to stop talking about it so we could talk about it now. But you mentioned that it was been a year since so we worked together for a year and we never spoke to one another?
Yeah, we just see each other in the hallway and give like a very testosterone-filled nod to each other.
I still remember, do you remember when we started, like, I still remember exactly where we were talking, like when we first started talking.
I feel like it was right outside the locker room.
No, it was not outside the locker room.
No.
It was, so we met each other in the operating room at one of these bigger hospitals where we live at, and not to speak for you, but you were it was kind of like a specialty operating room where we were kind of put into certain cores. We were never in the same core, which I guess why we haven't seen each other for that long time, because you were kind of like in your own core, I was doing my own thing in another hallway, and we just never crossed paths until I remember I needed a help in neuro, which was what you were doing, and I forgot, I think it was outside those double doors where you walk in before you go down that neuro hallway. What was that first room? Was that 20?
Yeah.
Or was it 18?
I think 18.
So it was 18,
yeah.
And that's when we started talking. I don't know what about. I think it was about tattoos. I think we started talking about tattoos.
Yeah, one of us fired it off. I was like, yeah, it's about time we become friends. One of us. And we were like, here we go. Yeah, we didn't talk because I was also in a fellowship and he was already staff. So
Really?
yeah, I think you just got off your fellowship when I got into mine, because when I first started, COVID happened. So I wasn't even in the OR for 3 months. I was on the floors, being a hero and whatnot. So
I got destroyed with COVID. Destroyed. I left. I guess we should talk about how we became nurses. I guess we should get into that.
yeah.
So I became a nurse. I was doing bedside in the same hospital for quite some time. And fellow nurses, you know how that life is. It's not a good life. It's very hard. Burnout is crazy. I got burnt out super quick. Had to transfer. Went to the OR. And the OR is like a year fellowship, right?
9 months.
9 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
about like 3 months into my, I don't know if you even know this, about 3 to 5 months into my fellowship in the OR, COVID hit. And then they said, okay, whoever used to do bedside or whatever floor you came from, they need your help. So if you're in the fellowship, we're not doing the fellowship anymore, so you're gonna go back to your old floor. And I remember being so nervous, going back to the old floor, taking on patients again, forgetting how to do my med distribution and how to kind of balance and juggle that whole thing again on the floor that I absolutely just wanted to get out of so quickly. And then they sent me right back in. And did you have to? So for you, did you leave the OR as well, or were you?
Yeah, because we were useless in the OR.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we just started, and I was also useless outside of the OR at that point in time. Because if there's any nursing students listening to this, it's like, yeah, you do, or if anyone that's going to go into nursing school, essentially your clinicals, in my opinion, my experience, you're mainly doing like PCA work, which is useful when you get
Absolutely.
there, so you could clean the patients properly and all like that. but essentially you are, wiping ass for the most part.
You're
And watching
wiping ass.
the nurses do it, and you're like making the beds and shit like that.
And then giving like 1 unit of insulin
Yeah.
and shaking during like getting blood pressures. That was the worst part. Man.
Fumbling over being all nervous.
I was so nervous, man. I didn't have an issue going into patients' rooms and like introducing myself. I never had an issue with that. But it just sucked, like having to wake them up. Be like, hi, I'm a nursing student. And they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like over the top because I'm like a little bit nervous. And I'm like, can I get your blood pressure? And they're like, dude, yeah, do whatever you want. I think it was a little harder being a guy too.
Yeah. I had one lady that I walked in, and she was sleeping too, and I came in all tentatively, and I like started giving her.
You fucking rolled in there, I guarantee. Like, kicked down the door.
I was like, good morning. She's like knocked the fuck out, so obviously she didn't hear me. So I started like tapping her on the shoulder, and she woke up, and I was like, hey, my name's Nick. I'm a nursing student. You mind if I practice my skills on you today, which is not a good way if you're in nursing school and make someone feel comfortable of you being in the room. So don't say that.
Can I practice on you?
Yeah, come in and act confident. All right. And she looked at me and she goes, I don't like you. I was like, oh God. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. Have a good day. She's in the hospital. Of course, not gonna have a good fucking day.
And your educator's like, how did it go? And you're like, I did a full body assessment. Everything's great.
Yeah. I was like, breath sounds are good. Ass is clean. Everything's going great in there. And actually, that lady turned out like 2 hours into clinical. She got in trouble, that patient, because she was high as fuck because she had weed oil hidden.
Yeah, that's why she was pissed when you woke her up.
Well, she was sober, but then once she took that weed oil, I gave her a real good bed bath, and she loved it.
Oh my God.
She was high as shit.
She probably enjoyed every second of that.
And I got her an extra pudding too, so I got me.
So when COVID hit, you went back. You never came from the floor, so where did they send you?
They sent me to Stern. Stern in our hospital was like where all the really 65-plus-year-old people were at. And they were all DNRs and DNIs. So do not resuscitate, do not intubate. So essentially, people were going down left and right. It was fucked up. Yeah. It was crazy.
Now, did you have like a district? Did you have to give meds and do stuff like that?
I didn't really give meds, no. Still, I just kind of like was like cleaning people up.
Yeah.
Everywhere and just doing great because they knew we were OR fellows. So yeah. Also, if you're a nursing student in nursing and listen to this, the OR is completely different.
So different
than floor nursing or any type of nursing. It's like its own world, and literally none of the skills you learn in nursing school are applicable at all in the OR.
Even in bedside, I feel like it's just a business at this point, nursing school. Like, did you remember anything from nursing school that you applied as an actual nurse?
No, but I don't want to shit on my nursing school though, because my professors were mad cool, and they got me ready for the NCLEX.
Don't even get me started on my fucking professors.
Yeah, mine were cool.
I'm not gonna say the school name, but I will say that I had a terrible experience at my school. Being a guy too, which is crazy, because you never hear that.
Yeah.
I had a dean she was the dean of the nursing school, but she started teaching class. And the class that she taught was like GYN and OB. So we had like half of the semester was GYN and then the rest of it was OB. And I remember she made so many people drop out of school for like, I think one of my first exams I got, I think like a 78. And it was a surprise exam. She would only do surprise exams, which, come on, like... And I remember I got like a 78, which is still passing.
Yeah.
And she sat me down and she's like, I don't think you're going to make it through. She's like, you should just drop out now. And I was like, nah, I'm good. But a lot of people were in the same boat as me, and she had that talk with them and they dropped out.
That's crazy.
And she hated men. Like, it was me and a couple guys in the nursing class, and she hated us. She wanted nothing to do with us. Especially with the tattoos, she was she was on some Florence Nightingale type shit, just not about it. She did not want men in the program. Really, even the final exam, she gave us a pamphlet to for things for us to like, this is what's going to be on the exam, and none of it was.
Damn.
And she was smirking and chuckling during the final exam. She's like, this is, as a nurse, this is what you're expected to do. Like, nothing's going to go as planned. So I gave you an exam that has nothing to do with the stuff that I told you to study. Like, what the fuck is that about, man?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, in general in life, like, I feel like if someone is miserable, it's like their fucking mission.
Alright, so I didn't plan this really well. I forgot to charge my camera, so that kind of fucked up. But we were on the topic of kind of my professor being like miserable and kind of like looking out for the worst things. But that, without further ado, we were kind of talking about how we met and kind of that dilemma with COVID. I was saying how about 3 months in, I had to get sent back to my floor, had to take on a whole district. I thought I was going to be cleaning doorknobs. That's what I was being told to do. They're like, you're just going to go back to the floor and like help the nurses on the floor. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'll clean doorknobs. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember showing up, and then the nurse educator who I knew because I worked on the floor. Of course, they sent me back to the floor that I wanted to leave so badly, so it was even worse. But I remember going back there and being like, all right, like, what doorknobs need to be cleaned? And she was like, no, you're getting like a district of like 8. And I'm like, what?
Sounds good.
And then I ended up coming back, you know, when that was all said and done, I went back to my fellowship where they didn't pause it, dude. Like, it was like, you know, it's 9 months. I'm gone for 5 of those months because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then I come back and she's like, all right, you have about like a month left of orientation. I'm like, I didn't orient anything, and I don't know anything about the OR. Like, I was only here for 3 months.
Plus, you like forgot the shit. Well, not
Yeah.
forgot, but like, you know, you're gonna be rusty. Like anything that you do,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like you gotta stay on it every day.
Every day.
Because even if you take like a week or 2 weeks off, when you come back, it's like you're like a little rusty. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Even like when you're on vacation, you come back, you're like, wait, let me get back in the swing of things. So
Yeah.
that was really hard. And I remember getting back, and then that's when I guess we met outside of OR 18.
Yeah.
And I remember we were kind of like, we had an ICU patient on the bed, and I think either you broke the ice or I broke the ice, I'm not sure, but then we started talking about tattoos, and then I still remember to this day, I knew I was liking you. So I knew we were going to be good friends even before we spoke, just because, just like the fellow Italian stuff, but like,
Yeah.
I still remember you got me so good because you're so sarcastic and you're so stoic. I remember heating up our food for lunch, and you were like, I was like, so like, tattoos, like what, you know, like, are you dating anyone? I think I was like, we were just like shooting the shit,
Mhm.
and you're like, nah, like, I'm a child of God, like, you know, I don't masturbate, I don't watch porn, and I remember you said that, and you kept the straightest face, and I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, man, like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I didn't know how to handle it. And then you're like, bro, I'm just fucking with you. And I was like, oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah, I had a little thing at the time, so I wasn't running around busting nuts by my own will, nor do I like to do it. I don't think it's healthy because, you know, when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, this would be a crazy topic, by the way.
Yeah, you're just getting right into it.
I'm
All
not
right.
gonna lie. I was getting after in like the 4th grade. I saw like the Sports Illustrated magazine. I was like, oh shit.
The guys or the girls?
Oh, come on, bro. Of course, the men.
I think I'm still playing with Legos, dude.
I remember seeing like the bikini models, and I was like, "Holy shit, I have a dick! That's crazy."
No, I was more
Yeah.
into like Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Yeah, I mean, I was still into that
I was
too.
collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and,
Yeah.
and fucking watching Digimon.
I was still into that too, but you know what I'm saying? I like bust out a quick, you know what I'm saying? Bust one out quick, get back to playing fucking World of Warcraft.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out. That's a throwback.
Yeah, lots of quests were completed in my day.
So,
Um,
now you're doing side quests, man. Look
now
at this.
doing
Look where we're at
side quests
now.
in real life.
We're doing casting couch advertisements right now and promotions.
Yeah.
So you were. I remember. You were dating your ex now. But
Yeah, at
you
that
were in
time.
a relationship. Like, how long was it?
And that's how we kind of like fortified our friendship,
Yeah.
actually, because you were like, because you had already been through a bad breakup,
That's right.
and you were helping me through mine, describing what you went through with yours and everything.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, unless if you're lucky enough to meet a girl and that's the one girl you got and she's a good girl and you run right off into the sunset, by all means. But you know, at some point in most dudes' lives, whether it's a girlfriend or some girl you like or whatever, you kind of go through. You go through that shit at some point.
Even being a girl too.
And being a girl,
you know,
yeah,
like,
being a
it
girl
happens
as
on
well.
both sides.
Yeah, exactly. You go through some sort of like pretty shitty breakup where you're pretty down bad, and it's like, especially when that's the first person you've loved or the first person you've been really attached to. Like, I feel like there's a part of you, at least for me, where I'm like, damn, am I ever gonna find? Is anyone ever gonna love me like that again? Am I ever gonna find some like that kind of connection again? And the answer to that obviously is yes. But in that moment when you're going through it, it's tough. But then that's when you start going on your own self-development journey.
And that's so important. Like I love this topic, dude. I could go about this topic all fucking day. I think it's just as crazy as it is, and how like almost, I don't want to say depressing, but like I don't think, now take this lightly, if you met like your high school sweetheart and you guys been together ever since, I think you were missing such, and I will stand on this hill and die on this hill, I think you were missing such a huge chapter of your life.
I agree.
Like, because I really do believe the quickest way to realizing who you are and what you need and what you want is going through a breakup.
Yeah.
I really think that's so integral of life, not to get too deep, but like I really do think that you have to go through the ringer in order to kind of figure out what you truly want and what you truly need. Or maybe not so much like, instead of what you want, what you need.
Yeah. And
because, you know, I was in a relationship, I wanted a million things. And then, you know, being out of it, I was looking back, I'm like, why did I want any of those things?
Yeah, I agree. And it's not even that to go through that process and to grow that you gotta like, you know what I'm saying, sling your ding along everywhere, or if you're a girl, get your box beat to pieces by 1,000 different men. Like, you don't have to go through that. That's a crazy way to put it. But what I'm saying is, you don't gotta like be fucking around with mad people to even make that actualization. But it's just being on your own.
Being alone.
Yeah, and reflecting, and also taking the lessons from your last relationship, and also being self-aware of the things you could have done better as well in that situation, and things that you want to take into like the next person you want to start talking to and you're taking seriously. Like for me, one thing I did that I didn't realize at the time because I was younger too was telling that I would never lie about big shit, but I'd lie about little shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what I didn't understand at that time and understand now is that when you lie about little shit, it is still breaking your trust with that person. That like that your word is starting to mean a little bit less every single time. Like for me, I had a very codependent relationship and we were together like all the time. And I got to a point where I just wanted my space. Yeah. So like I would tell her I was going to jiu-jitsu. Meanwhile, I was sitting at home and ripping video games.
Yeah.
And just chilling. And then I feel like girls just have an intuition that they just know things. They have like psychic powers.
We're not that smart as men.
From birth. Yeah, she told me she's doing something. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I don't even think much into it at all. And you know, my words started to mean less and less, and that is one of the mistakes that I made and that I learned from it. Now I just don't lie. In general, because like whenever you lie as well, like it gets found out at some point.
It always comes out.
It's just the way it is. That at least in my life experience.
I think that's why we became so close, because I feel like my life, and not to compare, but I feel like I just went through the shit that I kind of saw that you were about to go through.
Yeah.
Because like I had broken up with my ex of like 4.5, 5 years, and it was rough. Nothing bad about her. We just weren't meant to be. Simple as that. Like, not to throw shade. I'm not about that. We just weren't meant to be, and we became comfortable, and and neither of us wanted to pull that band-aid, and and I ended up doing it, and the healing process was hard, obviously. And then as soon as I came over that cusp and I found myself in it, I met you, and I felt like you were kind of headed in that trajectory of you were about to break up, but you were kind of hesitant of what was on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And I felt like we definitely really helped each other out. I think I helped you out a lot in the beginning. I felt like I helped guided you and kind of gave you some good advice to stay in the bumpers.
Mm-hmm.
And then further on through our friendship, I definitely became heartbroken again in the future, and you were there for me.
Yeah.
Being yo, all the things that you told me, you gotta start doing again. So I think it was really important that we found each other. I think it was definitely meant to be.
Yeah, and it's tougher in the moment when you're going through it, because you're sad, right? So when you're sad, you don't want to do shit. So at the beginning, you gotta force yourself to do shit. I remember I was going through my breakup at the time or whatever, and I was we had broken up, and I was trying to get her back, and she sent me that text message you get as a guy that's oh, you're a really nice guy, and they give you a bunch of compliments, and they're someone is gonna be really lucky to have you. I remember I got that shit, and I was oh, I'm toast.
Yeah, you're done for.
I'm fucking
After that, you're
toast.
done for.
That was bad. Also, nothing bad about her, but
Of course.
Same thing as you. I feel and then I went to jujitsu right after I got that text, and I'm already sad. I got some dude's shin on my fucking face, getting beat up, and I'm
obese, sweaty guy on top of you, and you're where am I?
Yeah, his sweat dripping in my fucking eyeballs with his shin on my head, and I was just wow, life is not going good in this current moment. But it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you feel that? Because you're speaking about jujitsu and you were doing it as the breakup was happening, but you were obviously into fitness before.
Yeah.
Right. So did you feel like the gym or jujitsu, whatever fitness or programming that you were doing, whether it was riding a bike outside, doing jujitsu, doing your boxing, or lifting in the gym, did you use that as kind of a getaway for a better mental health space during that time?
Yeah, that's the real forbidden pre-workout. You don't need caffeine,
you're just doing the big text message scroll, looking at that text that she sent you.
Yeah. Oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest guy. You're the best guy ever.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck out there.
The forbidden pre-workout.
Don't fucking throw it over the head. Get into your set. But going through that, you gotta make the best of it. It's you have a lot of emotions, and from there, I feel when you have a lot of emotions, whether they're negative or positive, you do have a lot of energy and a lot of at least a lot of tension that you need to get out. And working out is probably the healthiest way of doing that. I'm not gonna lie though, when I was going through it, I did smoke a ton of weed too, which I thought was helping in the moment, but in actuality, it was actually making it worse. Just filling a void, and then just kind of turns your brain off for a little bit.
You gotta face it.
Yeah, you gotta face it head on, and you gotta do the shit you were scared to do, going out and dating again as well. Which at first is a little, because you haven't tried to mac down a girl. For me, it was 3 years. So I fumbled a ton of bags at first. And that's a shitty feeling, It's a shitty feeling to know, the girl, kind of liked you, and then you went on a date with her, and now she does not want to speak to you. That's a shitty feeling. However, you take that and you learn from what you did, that's why you got that outcome. I feel there's no such thing as failure. It's just negative feedback.
Yeah.
So absolutely. It's technically you failed, but at the end of the day, you're just learning what not to do now. And through trial and error, you learn, what is the right way to move, or, he says I have a pretty crazy sense of humor. I'm all right, maybe I probably should never say that again. All right, lesson learned.
Definitely you with your sarcastic humor and your dry sense of humor. It's either a hit or miss for some people. I feel it's a love-hate relationship with you.
Yeah, people love me or hate me. Sometimes both.
It's just sometimes both. But I feel that, and I think it's all about perspective and how you handle it. I think that's what's so important about kind of being alone and facing those demons instead of going to the alcohol, which a lot of people do. They go into the alcohol, they go into the drugs, and you have the gym, which is like such a perfect ground for you to like start helping build yourself and the confidence and all that stuff. Like the gym, dude, I remember when I was heartbroken, I was sitting in the gym for like, I think I was going to the gym just to be in the gym, even on my days of rest. Like on my rest days, I was still going to the gym because I didn't want to be alone. I was just walking on the treadmill. Like I just wanted to be around people. I didn't want to be alone with my own thoughts. And you know, I think that's how I kind of found my love for fitness and through heartbreak, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been into fitness, but like I never took it as serious during that time because I wanted to be like a better version of myself. I wanted to grow into someone who like I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes you're in relationships or, you know, it doesn't even have to be relationships. It's either relationships, you know, your family life, like, you know, the circle that you're kind of in. Like, whether it's like a shitty job that you're in or like, you know, if you're on a bad floor as a nurse or, you know, you're surrounded by people who, you know, us nurses love to eat their young. Like, even that, like, you kind of need to get away from that and you need to realize. But a lot of people, which, especially in relationships, like, they never leave because they're afraid of what's on the other side. Like, they'd rather be comfortable with the shit that they're in now than to kind of be alone and figure things out, you know, by themselves. I think that's like a huge problem with today's, you know, with everything going on in today. Like, how many people do we know? I mean, listen, dude, how many guy nurses are there compared to female nurses? Like,
very small amount.
Very small amount of guys.
Yeah.
How many, and sorry to put you girls on blast, because this is going to be a touchy subject. How many, so there was a time at work where we were both single.
Yeah.
There was a big time, right? It was like a long time. We were going out.
It was a good amount.
Kind of causing a lot of heartbreaks, a lot of headaches when we were going out and stuff. Like, we were a little rowdy.
Yeah.
But like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, how many girls, even at work, who, you know, put on social media how happy they are in their lives and like they post their mans up and like they're like, I love my life, and then we speak to them like at work.
Yeah.
And they fuck it. What do they say?
They're just shitting on them.
They shit on them.
And also, like, you know, as you know, flirting with you, giving you some play. It's wild, and like as a single dude seeing that, it like almost puts you in a negative mindset. It's like, damn, yo, like that could be me, and you kind of feel for the dude as well. It's like, holy shit, this guy. But you know what the thing is though? I feel like people go through their emotions and shit, and all relationships have like ups and downs.
Of course.
Too. So sometimes they're just in the down period. Because also, like, sometimes the girls will be at work, and at first they're talking mad good about their boyfriends.
Yeah.
And then a couple months goes by, and then they're kind of like just shitting on them.
Or even every day, it's like it's a new story every day.
Yeah. Which is like the nature of relationships, if you think about it, right?
True.
Like, especially if it's been a long amount of time, is that like you're gonna have good days, good weeks, bad weeks. You know,
these girls were trashing their men though.
Yeah, the ones that we were interacting with. Yeah.
Trashing, and they were married. Some of them were like full blown married, and like
there's some crazy shit that goes down in the hospital, everybody.
Yeah, it is kind of like what is it? Grey's Anatomy. Everyone's like, is it like Grey's Anatomy? Like fucking in the locker room and the janitors. And it was like, yeah, sometimes it could be like that.
Sometimes
you gotta be careful.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen, and I'm not gonna lie, you know. I mean,
keep it.
Know, I was.
Don't say it.
I was a travel nurse, and
don't say
I saw some things going on.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot.
But the thing is, when you've been alone and you're working on yourself, and also you've kind of like dated and went out with a bunch of people, you kind of could feel out the type of person someone is by the way that they move.
Yeah. And
you take your time with it, and also you can tell a lot about someone, in my opinion, from looking at their social media.
Facts.
Like,
that's how it is nowadays.
Yeah, if I go on a girl's social media and it's straight fucking ass cheeks and titties, like, I know they're probably an attention-seeking girl. Sorry, ladies, that's your social media. If you do OnlyFans, like, I mean, listen, I would never date an OnlyFans girl, but I respect it though.
I respect the grind, man.
I respect the grind because you're probably making more money than us.
Yeah.
So I do respect that. Like, you gotta do sometimes. Fuck it. Like,
I say it all the time. If I'm a girl, I would never be a nurse. I'd be slinging it all on camera. If
I was a girl, I know for a fact I'd have an absolute fucking wagon if I was a girl.
You'd get plastic surgery?
Nah, my bro, it's just like I would just be in the gym. Like I've been in the gym since I've been 14. I've been squatting since I've been 14.
So you're just saying you'd have a fat ass as a girl?
Yeah, ayo, pause. Like right now, you know. So I walk around the street. I hear people like whistling all the time.
Right now?
Yeah, I was trying to walk in here. Next thing I know, someone's throwing dollar bills on me from the top window.
Listen, maybe you could quit nursing now since you had that bandwagon back there.
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
I just don't want. I don't. You know, I know the ladies. Some of them are single moms. I don't want to take any of that money away from them. Like we got a good professional. I don't want to go in their dojo in the clubs and stuff and be taking their shine. I'm just a selfless person. At the end of the day, you know.
I feel that. I mean, listen. I don't know if I would be if I was a woman, man. Oof, I think things would be a lot different for me.
Yeah.
I think I'd be. You think you'd be rich if you were a woman?
I mean, I would hope so. I mean, I'm hoping to be rich I'm not there yet as a dude, but I'm hoping as a woman, I would be as well. It's just like you know, the thing is when you're a girl, it's like you have different routes that you could take. Like there's plenty of girls that own businesses and stuff, and they take that route
Shout
and
out
they
to
make
those
bang.
girls.
Yeah, and then there's girls that are just mad hot. And
Also, shout out to
yeah,
those
and they
girls.
get everything for free, and the simps will hop on OnlyFans and pay them bread. So it would depend on what genetics were bestowed upon me. You know, like if I had like great feet.
You think you'd be hot as a girl?
I think as a girl, I think my body would be crazy. I would definitely have a fat ass, like I said.
What do you think your face would be?
Yeah, I think my face would be alright. I think my face would be like because you know what I'm saying, I feel like I got some masculine features in my face. I am a dude, so that makes sense. But I feel like as a girl, I'd probably be like a butter face, but definitely a D1 breeder. You know,
you look like one of those thick lacrosse girls.
Yeah, I probably play goalie.
Yeah. You play goalie?
Yeah. I might have got a boxy build though.
You do have a boxy build.
You know, like I might have a boxy build, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll never know. Shit. I mean, I tried that filter. You know, like with AI and stuff, you put filters on. It was on Snapchat or something. It was like a trend for it's like, oh, you can see yourself as a woman. I was not a good looking woman.
Did you have a Karen haircut?
Hell no, bro. Hell no. I don't even know what I would do, bro. But definitely not the where's the manager?
We gotta see you sprint in high heels right now. We gotta get a video on that.
I gotta go slap them on. Maybe I'll make the Olympics. I'm sure there's like some sort of professional heel running.
There has to be.
I feel like there's like a league now for anything. I was watching the Olympic power walkers.
Yeah. What about the break dancers? Did you see that? The break dancing?
Yeah, I could have like that lady she just spun on the floor.
She's probably making more money than us.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
crazy,
I don't know.
man.
She did get shitted on though.
Dude, any fame is good fame, man.
I guess so. Also got the Hawk Tua. Well, you know, like I mean, I respect it. It's
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying, man. I feel like girls have it like pretty easy.
I mean, yeah, in certain regards, yeah. I mean,
You just get viral video. Come on, man.
I feel like if they're hot, they have it easy, or they have it easier. They have that option. You know what I mean? Because like we're in the hospital too. Like I've seen a couple bad like women doctors and stuff like that. So like the thing is like with women is like they could have it easier, but it depends on the type of girl that they are, right?
Yeah.
Like some girls are hot and they know it, and they know if they want to take that route they could, but they would rather go and earn it, like by being a doctor or something.
Yeah.
Either way, they're making bread, but they have that option. As a dude, like you can't. There's not really a market for dudes as much as women to get paid best based solely on your looks.
There definitely is a difference between how men get paid and how women get paid, and that's ridiculous. There definitely is that line. I don't know if it's so much in the hospital, but you hear it in like more of like Wall Street type businesses and jobs where women get paid less, which is crazy to
or
me.
Real estate. You know what I mean?
Real estate too.
Like real estate, am I gonna go with the bad Latina real estate agent, or am I gonna go with the dude real estate agent? I'm gonna go see what's up with the bad Latina. I'm buying the house either way. Maybe, you know, she's single, maybe we could work something out. as well. 2-for-1 special. I get the house, I get the girl, and now we're both happy. I'd be like,
I guess that's like a little, just you're missing the white picket fence and you're pretty much set, man.
yeah, exactly. So
Pretty much set.
I mean, I guess it really depends. I feel like with anything in life, it depends on the person and like what route that they're gonna pick.
Yeah, clearly, all joking aside, too, like, nowadays, it's so saturated with how people look and, how fake people are now.
Yeah.
Like it's so much more special having, like, an actual genuine girl.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's just, like, it's so hard to find nowadays.
100%. But also, like, the social media and stuff, too, it's, like, it sucks because, like, the girls that are bad, they're kind of just, like, not maintainable. Because also, like, you see, like, these celebrities that have everything, too. Status, look, blah, blah, all the shit that, a girl want a dude, and the girls will still cheat on them.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, so, like, you have, with social media and shit, you have so many high-value dudes coming at you at the same time. It's like being, like, an attractive single guy. It's like you have so many options. It's hard to pick one because you could connect with different people in different ways.
And you don't even know if they're high valued. Like, they could be buying their followers. That Lambo that they're sitting in isn't theirs. Like, it's so hard to trick people nowadays. I feel like that's why people have such, like, everyone has this wall up now. And I feel like the dating scene is so hard for people because you don't know if this person is genuine or not.
Yeah,
and it becomes so challenging.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of always wanted to, like, being a nurse, being in the hospital, like, you're working 12-hour shifts. So, like, you can't fake that all day. And you're dealing with patients, you're dealing with a million different personalities, whether, for us in the operating room, like, you're dealing with anesthesia, you're dealing with surgeons, you're dealing with medical students, residents, you name it. There's a million different people doing a million different tasks. And I feel like meeting your partner, you kind of see the true color of people in the workforce, in healthcare. Because you can't be putting on a mask all day.
Nah.
Like, the true colors come out.
Yeah, if you're there long enough.
If you're there long enough, you're gonna see it. I can't wear that mask on me for more than 45 minutes.
I just beat myself off rip. Honestly, I mean, I have more of a filter when I first get in there. Yeah, when I first get in there, I will filter myself and I'll be more quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm analyzing my area to see kind of who I could say
Absolutely.
what to and like where I could bring out my sense of humor and where I cannot. So I'm a little bit more quiet at first because you got to be a professional at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
However, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that after like 3 months I just stopped giving a fuck. Honestly, I just.
But what do you mean you stop giving a fuck in what aspect? About how people view you, or about?
Well, I don't really care about that off rip because it's like, when you're younger, I feel like by the time until I got to about like 23 and I got in the hospital and stuff like that, it's like you want everybody to like you. I feel like everyone goes through a phase where you care about what everybody thinks and you kind of want everybody to like you. But as you go on through life, you kind of realize that no matter what you do, not everyone's gonna like you. Yeah. And once you actually realize that and accept that fact, that kind of allows you to just be yourself full time. Because like honestly, if you have to fake who you are too to have those people be around you, then they're not the right people for you anyway. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You want to be around people that you form genuine connections with.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I also think that, so we were kind of talking about like personalities and not trying so hard to like be liked by anyone. And I feel like that's personally a problem I had.
Yeah, I had it too for a mad long time.
Yeah.
Like I remember I'd find out someone doesn't fuck with me, and I would deadass feel like sad. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would deadass be like, yo, why don't they like me? Meanwhile, like nowadays, now that I've accepted the fact that no matter what I do, not everyone's gonna like me, and that's okay. It's also like once you've built genuine friendships and you have like a couple friends that you're close with and that are genuine, like it's like realistically I really don't need any more friends. Like I already have a core. I already have like 5 or 6 guys that I know are my boys. But if you're in a spot where you feel like you've been trying to make friends and like you can't say that, like what we just said, like we're blessed, even to have met each other and to be good friends. Like we're blessed for that. There's plenty of people out there that deadass have zero friends, you know, and I feel like that kind of comes from having some sort of social anxiety that isn't allowing them to like express themselves and to build those genuine connections. Because in order to build those genuine connections, you got to be like a little polarizing, and you got to obviously you got to tell the person about you, and you have to be genuinely interested in them as well, and you got to have social skills. I feel like social skills are the most important skills you could have in life because they, first of all, for dating relationships, obviously you need them
Yep.
to number one, get a partner, and to number two, have enough options and to understand what a good partner is displaying to you, and vice versa. For networking, for work
Absolutely.
as well, and also like if you're running a business, sales, you have to be good with people, and just in general, having charisma and social skills is priceless.
And empathy. I think empathy is like,
And that's a big part of it.
for me, I'm proud to say that that's one thing I definitely know I have, and I apply it. I'm not perfect by any means, but like I think that's why I like to say I'm a great nurse and a great friend, a great partner in a relationship, and lastly, like a great business owner because I actually care about how others feel. You know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, sometimes no matter what you do or what you say, people are still not going to like you said. And you know, you when you grow up, you kind of realize that that's not important, and the people that don't like you don't even deserve to be in your life anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that's like such a hard transition as like a new grad nurse to go into healthcare, being kind of intimidated by a bunch of new personalities, trying to be liked by everybody, and kind of, you know, not knowing where you're kind of sitting. Like, you know, you're going to get checked by the PCAs, you're going to get checked by the surgeons or your doctors or other nurses.
And the staff, bro.
Staff.
Like where we worked,
Yeah, it's rough. It's
where we worked, like that place,
a
there's a
dog-eat-dog
lot of
world.
people in there that they will intentionally fuck with you to try to break you. I remember I'd walk by the room and they'd say, oh, this one's not going to make it, that one's not going to make it. And you know what? The people like that are just miserable people.
Yeah.
If you're hoping on someone else's downfall and you feel the need because when you were first became a nurse or whatever it is, or when you were a freshman, because you got hazed and bullied, you feel like you have to do that to other people, that means that you have not really processed that, and low key, like you're just being spiteful. And you're not even spiting the person that did it to you. You're spiting a totally innocent person that has done nothing to you so far, just because they're new.
And it's projection. It's all projection.
Yeah, and it's projection.
Like you mentioned you became a nurse at 23.
Yeah.
Like there's some nurses that become nurses at like 21. Like being a 21-year-old person, like I feel like I didn't have a conscience until I was like 25, 26. Like
Yeah.
21, like most people don't even know how to do their laundry at 21, and now these people are taking care of lives at
Yeah.
21. Like multiple lives, multiple codes, like you know how much pressure that is, and then now you're getting thrown under the bus by, you know, coworkers and all these people like in the medicine field. It's a really rough, it's really rough, and I think that like makes people very depressed, and they feel isolated and they feel alone. You don't know what everyone's going through outside of work.
Yeah.
And like you know, you never know what someone may be going through, or you know, if there's something going on with their parents or a loved one, or if they're all alone. Like you can't judge people, and you can't be rude to people, especially in work. Being rude to someone in the hospital is just like off. Like you can't do that. You can't do that, and you know it leads to people, you know, not taking care of themselves because you know they're too busy and they're too stressed about not losing their license and literally killing somebody at work. From someone who could barely take care of themselves, now they're taking care of like a million different people and trying to appease and trying to make, you know, everyone happy. And, you know, then in turn, like they're ignoring their own self needs. They're eating out, they're drinking, they're doing drugs like we were talking about, or, you know, and they gain weight and they stop, you know, maybe working out, and they don't become the best versions of themselves. And I think that's why fitness is so important. Being a new grad nurse, or even a nurse who has 20 years experience, because if you are not, like, how are you expected to take care of someone 100% if you're not even taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Like, you need to get that foundation. You need to find that routine. I know people hate to hear it, like, you work 3 days a week, you only work 3 days a week. Yeah, but, like, yeah, you do only work 3 days a week. You got to find time to put yourself first.
Yeah, and those 4 other days, you got to be making shit happen. And you know what the reality of the world is? Because now I work 5 days a week because I do ambulatory.
How different is it now?
Way different. Way different. And you really have to have a lot of discipline to when you're done working for those 8 hours, where if you work a 9 to 5 for those hours that you're in the office, you either got to, one, wake your ass up early in the morning and get in the gym. But if you're not a morning person, that's okay too. I wake up at like 5, whatever, drink my electrolytes and shit, get ready for work, go to work. But after that work day is done, those 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever it might be, those 5 days a week, you gotta have the discipline to just go straight to the gym. And you have to come prepared to work, to go to the gym or to work out afterwards. Make a bag the day before of all your gym stuff, your pre-workout, your water, whatever it is that you need for the gym, your change of clothes.
Yep.
If you're in office clothes, have that bag with you in your car when you leave. This way you don't have to go home and sit. Because if you work 8 hours, I know for me, if I work 8 hours and I go home and I sit down, I'm not fucking getting back up. And I'm a pretty disciplined person still for me. Because now you're in rest mode and it's very hard to get up after that point and do the shit that you want to do. And then you're laying down at night and you're like, fuck, all I did today was work. Especially if you're working a job that you don't like.
Yeah.
It's like that time outside of work is now the time you get to do whatever the fuck you want. So don't let how tired you are from your work day stop you from getting yourself out of that place and getting some positivity and some momentum going.
Yeah. Some tips I would even say to like make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, putting yourself a priority is, if you're going to the gym before work, which like you said is pretty hard, put your gym clothes on as soon as you wake up. Because you got those gym clothes on, now you feel like you can't kind of back out. Like you got the gym clothes on. For me, as soon as I wake up, I have my breakfast, I drink a shitload of water, and then I'm cracking open my energy drink.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be running errands or slouching off if you're opening and drinking an energy drink. For me, as soon as that energy drink, like I taste it or I pour my pre-workout and I drink it, I'm like, all right, now I have no choice but to get to the gym.
Yeah.
Little tips like that, I feel like, are huge to actually get your ass into the gym. It's so important.
Yeah. Otherwise, just sitting on your couch, just like cracked out. Like twitching and.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't watch like, you can't watch Netflix show. You can't watch like Keeping Up with the Kardashians when you're like an energy drink in. You're gonna be like tweaking on the couch. Like you're gonna want to get moving.
And wasting that energy.
Energy, exactly.
And speaking of that, I noticed that when you sit down for too long, like your energy levels just dip.
Absolutely.
Always. Like it's as if your body's like, all right, we're not doing shit no more. However, if you get up and you start moving, even if it's like cleaning your crib a little bit or just doing little tasks around your house just to be moving, you have so much more energy to now go and start your day rather than like you wake up, you turn off the alarm, you lay in bed, and you go through that cycle, and then you roll out of bed into work. Now you're walking into work like dragging ass. Meanwhile, just like drinking your water in the morning, having that shit ready, getting hydrated, and just moving and doing little things in your crib. Well, now you're getting into like productivity mode, and now you're ready to go into work and feel fresh. Because especially as nurses, I hate going into work dragging ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, fuck, I gotta take care of people right now. I gotta wake the fuck up.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's for sure hard. I agree with you. Like, we kind of touched base on like how you could kind of get your ass to the gym early in the morning, but leaving work, like for me, there are some days, yes, I only work 3 days a week, but I also run a business. So it's like, it's very hard there are some days where I'm technically off from work, but I'm busy doing things.
Yeah.
So like some days after my 12-hour shift, I gotta go to the gym. So I'm making sure that like I have a gym bag, like you said, in the car. Even when lucky for us, being in the operating room, you don't have to wear like your scrubs into work. Like you're getting sterile scrubs from that closet or whatever, the sterile scrub machine. So like for me, I'm wearing gym clothes into work because when I'm getting out of those scrubs, now I'm in gym clothes. You have your gym bag in the car, you're wearing gym clothes, just go straight to the gym. Because like you said, the second you get home, you don't drive home, go into your place, because you're never gonna leave. The second you enter your home and that bag touches that floor, you're not gonna get up. I don't care if you're how disciplined you are, it becomes so much more challenging coming home and then having to go back out to the gym. Just do it on your way home.
Yeah.
Like become prepared.
Like set yourself up for success.
Exactly.
And another big thing with that is just having like a plan. Like there's people that I train as well, and they go to the gym, but they're just there doing random shit.
Yeah.
That's why like having a trainer or having someone that doing some research on your own and writing down what you're going to do in the gym. Now you don't have to think, and that's not going to discourage you. You just go in. I have my shit to do here. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I don't need to think. I'm about to look around with the machines and try to figure out what I want to do today. Especially if you don't know how to work out. I've been working out since I've been 14. I could walk in there and just fucking start doing shit and put a workout together on the fly. But if you're new and you're not a fitness person, and like us, you don't have to go to the gym 7 days a week.
Yeah, either. It's such a common misconception.
Yeah, we do that because we're sickos. And me personally, like I just have this sick mentality in my head. If I don't go every day in the week, then I feel like I'm not making progress, which isn't true. I'm aware that's just me being a sicko. But if you're like listening to this, I mean, it's the first podcast. If you're one of our 12 listeners today, shout out to you. Appreciate it. You're doing a great job. But if you're like someone that's just trying to go to the gym to better their health or something, because you're a parent and you have kids and you don't have that much time, just 3 full body workouts for 30 to 45 minutes a week is more than enough to get you some progress and especially to get you healthier. And especially if you have a job that you're on your feet all day.
Yeah.
Walking is the best exercise anyone could do. It's not really that strenuous for most people. You can control the pace at which you walk, and just getting your steps in for the day is going to improve your overall health tremendously. Yeah, sitting on your ass is like the new smoking. It's the new smoking.
I always tell my clients, because for those that don't know, I run a business helping nurses kind of get their ass to the gym, start and make their own health a priority instead of all their patients. Like I said earlier, you got to be 100% yourself before you could give 100% to somebody else. I always believe in that. Whether you're even in the healthcare field or not, you have to put yourself a priority. Always, always, always. So from me saying that, I always like to explain to my clients about like the triangle to success. I always say this, the triangle. 1, your cardio is so important. 2, which is your aerobic exercise. Anaerobic is working out, and then 3rd is diet, which I feel like we're going to get into pretty shortly. Yeah. But like for us nurses, there's no excuse. Like you're working your 12-hour shift, you're hitting at least 10K steps.
Yeah.
So that's already 1 point of the triangle that you completed. Yeah. So now like if you have to get to the gym, like you said, get to the gym, do 30 minutes of just weightlifting, 40 minutes of weightlifting. And then all you have to do is just eat right. 80-20 rule. Like eat healthy 80% of the time, have your junk food 20% of the time. You don't even have to, we're not telling you to run triathlons or go on runs and go on hikes. Like you're doing at least 10K steps at work. All you have to do now is just lift some dumbbells, lift some weight, and then eat healthy. And that's all there is. People like think that you need to follow this like carnivore diet or this keto diet or all these different diets. Just get yourself working out. Get yourself moving. Hit your 10K steps daily, work out at least 3 days a week, and just eat right. Make smarter decisions. And that's all there is to it. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, and the fad diets, they piss me off. I was going to say they piss me off, but the fad diets piss me off because they're preying on people that might not have a general knowledge on nutrition, and they're trying to say, this is the only diet, this is the best. The reality about diet is it is whatever diet works best for you. Mm-hmm. And you can do your research on the diets and you can figure out which one fits best into your lifestyle, whether it's intermittent fasting, paleo, carnivore, whatever the fuck diet you want to do. It's whatever works best for you and is conducive to your lifestyle is the best diet.
I agree.
There's no one that's better than the other. And also in terms of work, because it's not just a nursing thing, I feel like it's a universal thing, that break room is a fucking trap. You walk into the break room every fucking day, there's donuts, there's cookies.
They somehow just appear.
Yeah, they just spawn. I don't even know who brings it in.
Yeah, you're always seeing something.
They just, it's like it's a requirement of the break room to have some fucking shit in there. And if you eat that, like at work, like I said, 80-20, you can have it when you want. Yeah. But if you eat that sugary shit at work, it's going to give you the itis. And next thing you know, you're dragging ass for the rest of your day. And now it's harder to go right from work to the gym. Now you're going to work, you're like, oh shit, I'm tired. So me personally, this is what works best for me. Like I said, whatever works for me. I have my carbs at the end of the day. Because I know once I have the carbs, my blood sugar is going to spike, and now I'm going to get tired.
Yep.
And now I want to sleep. So that's why at the end of the day is when I'll like load up my carbs. I have a little bit during the day. Like for a meal, I'll have like 20 grams of carbs, 30 grams of carbs. Or if I'm going to have it, I'll have fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like the fruit doesn't affect me that bad. But if I have rice, I'm sleeping.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
It really is. It's different on, from person to person. And I think it's just people get so motivated. They find this like you said, this fad diet where they're like, oh, the carnivore diet, like, it's simple, it's easy. And then they get this motivation and then they do it and then they realize like staying consistent with that is a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
And the reason, like, I always like to say, like, for those that don't know me, I love these analogies and these metaphors, but motivation is kind of like signing up to a 5K race. But the consistency is actually showing up to the race and finishing the race. So everyone thinks like, oh, I have that motivation, let me make the most of it. That's great, but like you need to think of the long game. Like you need to think of consistency. What is going to make you stay consistent? It's not going to be the fad diet. It's not going to be running 3 miles every day because life happens, man. Like things come up, injuries happen. Don't even get me started with that. Sickness, family, relationships. Like there are a million different things that you have to worry about. It's not just going to work and then going to the gym and then coming home. Something always happens. That's why like being prepared, like what we were discussing, like making sure that we have all the right tools to make sure that we actually get to the gym this day is so key. I feel like a lot of nurses don't really, or people in general just don't think like that. I know a lot of night nurses, myself included, before I kind of made this transition, but like I'm going to Burger King on my way to work because I didn't have time to cook. And then throughout my shift, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to have time to feed myself because I'm going to be so busy. So let me grab like these protein bars and all these like little things, these little snacks to kind of like at least keep me going. But you little do you know, half of these protein bars that are out are just candy bars.
Yeah.
You're eating like Slim Jims and shit like that, and like what you were saying, it just kills your energy. And then when your energy is depleted, that's kind of like when you start like you're not making right choices. You can mess up like a med pass. The list goes on.
Yeah.
So it's really important to like stay consistent and create a plan. And I think like it's really, really important to find a trainer if you are having trouble with it to help you. Because even staying accountable is like such a big thing that people need. Like I myself, there are days where I'm having a rough day. I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I have a coach too. Like everyone has a coach. Me
as well. I have a trainer as well, and I've been working out for 14 fucking years.
Yeah.
And he knows 20 times more than me, and he's helping me get to that next level. There's always another level to hit.
Yeah.
And if you're just starting, that's okay. Everyone has a starting point, and also no one in the gym that has been through. You have to understand, when you go to the gym, it might be intimidating because you're going to see other jacked people there, or jacked people there, and they're going to be looking at me, they're going to be judging me. But you have to remember, all those jacked people in there at one time were not jacked, and they had their first day too. And anyone that sees you in the gym is going to respect that you're trying to make a change.
Yeah.
Unless you get one of like these curly-headed little fuckers like
the
on
broccoli
TikTok.
hair kids with like the dangly Christian. The dangly cross.
Like there might be people, like I'm not gonna say like no one in there, but those guys are fucking idiots, and they probably can't even bench press 135. Just fucking make a friend in there of one of the jack dudes, because they're probably cool, and they'll pull up on them, and we'll see who's laughing at that point.
Exactly.
Right? But for the most part, no one in there is judging you, and they respect that you're making a change, whether you're skinny and you're trying to get bigger, or you're bigger and you're trying to lose weight. If you're in there working on yourself, no one is judging you. People are actually going to be rooting for you, or at least people like us.
Absolutely.
We're going to be rooting for you, and don't be afraid if you have a question to approach someone just because they're in shape. Someone comes up to me with a question, I'm more than happy to help them and to give them my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So don't let the gym intimidate you.
I think that's a big point.
Yeah. Yeah, because you hear it a lot. I hear it from tons of people.
A lot of females too.
A lot of females too. Because also, unfortunately, I mean, not everybody, but it is true. There are some fucking creeps in the gym.
There's definitely creeps in the gym.
There's some creeps in the gym.
It's
like
crazy.
Unfortunately, it's like a fact. You can't say don't worry about that, because then I'd be fucking lying to you. Because I've seen it.
Yeah.
They go to the gym to approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say if you want to build up your biggest resistant shield to that as a female, pop in your AirPods, wear like a little cap over your eyes, and just show that you're not interested in talking to anyone. If you go in there and you're wearing your fucking little juicy suit with your ass cheeks like jiggling around everywhere,
You're gonna get stared at.
like you got it's biology. If someone has a testosterone molecule in their body, like it's like, you know, dudes, like they can't really help it.
Yeah.
You know, this has been since the caveman times. They see like the hot little cave woman running around in her fucking leaf thong, and they're gonna go ooh ooh and they're gonna fucking be looking.
But you know that doesn't mean to not dress up like that.
That doesn't mean if that's how you like that. But I'm just saying, like, you are more likely for someone to approach you if you go in there, and it sucks that it's like that.
Yeah.
Because like I see girls like that, I love it. Oh, she looks good. I'm carrying on with my workout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but there, unfortunately, if you dress like that, that is when things like that might happen.
Yeah.
If I'm being fully transparent with whoever the 10 people are that listen to this.
I think you made a great point, though. I think a girl with a baseball cap, one is super hot, but two, it's like they're not. It's all business. Yeah. Every time I see a girl with a baseball cap on, it's like, don't leave her alone. She's looking down. She's getting she's getting about it.
Yeah, or like a hoodie,
or a hoodie,
oversized tee that covers up their features, and they're just there to work, or like sweatpants.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hot as fuck in there. Like you don't want to wear sweatpants. But
yeah.
Also,
like you know, wear whatever you want. Just you know, unfortunately, you know, if it bothers you to the point where like you feel like you can't get to the gym because of the creeps, unfortunately, you kind of have to like reroute and either switch gyms, go at a certain time where maybe it's less people if you really want to wear those outfits. Because everyone wants to look good while working out. They want to look good, they want to feel good. So wearing those outfits, I know for me, I'm dressed like a slut when I go to the gym because it makes me feel good. Yeah. And like I don't care, I don't mind people staring at me. Who knows if people stare at me because I'm in my own world, I'm locked in. Yeah. But like I know what I'm going to be expecting if I'm dressing up like that.
Yeah, but we're also dudes, right? So people really aren't like it's different for us. Like sometimes I personally, if I see the sun, I start sweating. I'm just like a sweaty person, so I gotta wear a tank top and shorts. Otherwise, I will get heat stroke in the gym. I know I sound like a pussy saying that. I'm exaggerating, but I'm gonna be hot as fuck if I'm running around my workout in a sweater and sweatpants. I'm gonna be hot as fuck. But I will say if like you know the thing is some girls they go to the gym at the same time every day like us we're saying right after work I'm going to the gym. I am there at the same time damn near every fucking day. And sometimes these girls could only go there at that time. Yeah. So the same creeps are always going to be there at that time. So or I mean I guess like the thing is they don't have to deal with like saying to the manager this guy or something like that. And some of them don't have boyfriends either that could be like yo bro fuck off. Like, so I feel for them. I feel for them. You're probably going to have to change your fit.
Change the fit or just stare at them. Like, if these guys are like, these
old
guys
are like creeping,
off, just make fucking eye contact with them and just don't break it. Just look at them. Just like just grill the fuck out of them until they break eye contact. And then give them like the fuck you looking at? I guarantee they'll never look at you again.
You know, the thing is too with that though is some guys are also crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's usually old ass guys though.
Yeah, I was gonna say the girl could just tell them to fuck off, but also girls are worried. What if this guy blows up on me? What if this guy attack? You know what I'm saying? Like that's in their head, especially if it's like a really big guy or something, and they're like a petite girl. So you kind of just have to show zero interest and like politely say, hey, listen, I appreciate you like coming up to me. I'm really just trying to work out right now, and honestly, I'm just really not in the mood to talk to anybody. Or I don't know. It's a tough way. It depends on the person,
it's
like
tricky.
I said. And some girls are shy too. Like some girls aren't gonna aren't gonna even want to say anything. Like they just be like, why do I have to even deal with this?
Yeah.
And it sucks that is a thing. You know.
It shouldn't deter you though from going to the gym. And even if it's so bad where you're at and it's so congested during the times that you can only go and you have some money to spend, buy like a pair of dumbbells and a bench. I have a client, shout out to this client right here. He's 10 weeks in, he's down 20 pounds.
Oh, good shit.
He doesn't go to the gym, he has a family. He goes home, He has a pair of dumbbells and a bench in a concrete cement basement, and he just works out 3 days a week, 45 minutes. He's down like 2 pounds every week. He just puts in the work. So there's always options. It doesn't mean like, you know, where you're at, where you're living, if you can't make it to the gym, or, you know, in situations like where you have creeps, it should never deter you from just stopping on what you should be doing. You need to work out, you need to eat right, you need to get your daily steps in, and that's it. Like, if you want to level up, that's what you have to do. Simple as that.
There's no like easy way, but there is a easier way. Like,
no shortcuts, but there are easy
ways.
ways.
Like, you have to be disciplined and consistent for sure. Like, especially if you're 100% newbie, you can just do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Just go in there, do a full body workout 3 days a week. Every workout that you're doing, make sure that you're hitting at least 3 sets on each major muscle group, which would be like your chest, your back, and your anterior side of your legs and your posterior side of your legs, and do core on 2 of those days as well with the steps. And that's pretty much like the bare minimum if you want results. Like, you can't just walk in there and do 1 set on each machine and leave. Like, probably nothing is going to happen.
Hitting a different muscle group because you just don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
but the thing is, if you need help, you know, try to do your research on the trainer and make sure that they know what they're talking about too. Because I don't want to shit on trainers in the gym. I've seen plenty of great trainers in the gym, but I've also seen a lot of shitty trainers in the gym that they take advantage of you not knowing anything. And they bring you through some little half-ass fucking workout, and you don't know any better because you're new to the gym. You don't know what's good and what's not good. And essentially, they're just wasting your time and making money doing it.
I think I can't believe I'm saying this, but doing a personal trainer, like a one-on-one in-house, like in the gym, you're hiring a trainer from the gym that you're working at, is just such a risky move. And it's also just costly too. You're spending, I think now the rate is anywhere from like $55 to $90 from 45 minutes to an hour working out with them.
That's crazy.
You're doing these workouts, usually half the time they're on their phones, they're not paying attention. You're kind of going through the motions. You guys are bullshitting. He's not making you, or she's not making you get locked in. You guys are just talking about life. You're not really focusing. You're not having that muscle-mind connection. And then after that 45 minutes, you're like, all right, see you later. And then you're completely misguided. You have no idea what to do when you leave the gym. You don't know what kind of food you should be eating. Like, you kind of just show up to the gym whenever you feel motivated. And like I said, motivation only brings you so far. I think it's so important to hire like an online trainer where it's just literally one-on-one. He covers everything: food, diet, accountability, things that we do. And you see nothing but results rather than just paying for a 45-minute session where the trainer's really not completely like focused in on you. You're going through the motions and then you leave and then you're kind of screwed. Yeah. I see it all the time.
Yeah, and also, if in that hour your trainer is including your warm-up and your cool-down as part of your workout,
so
they're running game on you.
Running game.
They should give you something. Maybe the first workout, they show you how to warm up. And if you have questions during the session, obviously, like, that's cool. But they should tell you to warm up before your session starts. Get there 15 minutes early and warm up. The hour is full work. And they also teach you how to cool down afterwards on your own.
On your own.
Because you think about it, you have an hour session, and 15 minutes of that is warm up, and 15 minutes of that is cool down. You're only getting 30 minutes of workout attention, which is what you're paying for. You want that full hour.
Yeah.
So don't let them run game on you.
That's so true.
You know?
I had never even thought of that. I mean, and like, going back to the intimidation thing, like, I tell a lot of my clients, like, if you're not used to being in the gym, you're not really sure of like what to do your research, hire a trainer. If that's something that you're not ready for just yet and you want to start doing it on your own, I recommend going in, getting on a treadmill or a Stairmaster and kind of scoping out the gym. Kind of seeing like what machines you want to hit, what you're doing, what muscle groups you're hitting. Don't do it arms and then a random back exercise and a random chest exercise. Get on the treadmill, scope the gym out, kind of see what the route is you're going to take throughout the gym and kind of figure out what you're going to be hitting that day. Because it saves time, it saves the stress. You get in, you get your steps in while trying to create a plan, and you're in and you're out. I think walking straight into the gym, having your mind like, all right, I'm going to go to the dumbbells or I want to hit this chest machine, and then you walk in and you get to that chest machine and someone's on it, you just like panic and you're like, fuck, wait, what do I do next? Where do I go? And then now you're kind of standing there, you have that pressure, you're feeling maybe people are staring, and then you just randomly get on a machine, and it's not even one of the machines that you wanted to use that day. It's a completely different muscle group that you were, planning to hit. So I feel like that's a great tip too, kind of getting on the treadmill, kind of scoping out everything. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You see like what's available, what's not available. It's a well-known fact that universally any gym between 4:30 to 7:30 is going to be fucking packed. So you're likely going to have to improvise on your workouts. There's always at least one dumbbell available.
Always. Yeah.
So with that one dumbbell, you could do a lot of shit. And I know it sucks. You go in there with a plan on what you want to do. However, sometimes it just doesn't work out like that, and you don't want to be standing around waiting for a rack for 45 minutes. And now you're tired. If you drink pre-workout, it has now worn off. Now you're not feeling as motivated to work out. So be ready to improvise. And if you don't know how to, and you're a beginner, make sure you ask your trainer these questions. Like, if this isn't available, what should I do? If I go in there and everything is taken, just give me some sort of body weight workout or a singular dumbbell workout to do. This way I could go in there, at least get something done. Because sometimes you could write a program for someone and then none of this shit is available. Like, I like to write a lot of stuff on the rack. Overhand, you know what I'm saying? Overhand rows, underhand rows, squats, deadlifts. Because you could get a lot of good work is done on the rack, right? Or the machines, like lat pull down will always be taken. Cable fly, always be taken.
Always.
All that stuff. So you got to have like a body weight option on the side as well, that you don't require any weights. All you need is a little bit of space and you could get a solid workout in.
I agree. I mean, listen, I don't get intimidated as much, but I definitely, I guess to like make it a little bit more humorous, are there things that happen in the gym for you, like still to this day, that you go in and like pet peeves?
Oh yeah.
What's your big, dude, I get so upset in the gym. It's just like a moment of a fucking light switch. I'm like having a great workout and then someone does something near me and I lose it. Internally, I lose it. But like, I get so upset. And what is it? What's the pet peeve for you that just drives you fucking mad?
My biggest pet peeve, and if you're new to the gym, don't do this because people are going to think you're an asshole.
I know what you're doing.
Is when you're working out, literally your nuts are resting on the fucking dumbbell rack.
I was not expecting that.
Like right in front of the dumbbell rack. I swear to God, I do this. If someone's working on the dumbbell rack, because I'll do like a set, a 20, and I'm going up in weight each time. If I have to go put those weights back, I am walking right in front of you and putting my shit down and interrupting your whole set. Because it doesn't take much to fucking grab your dumbbells and step fucking 5 to 10 steps back and do it in your own space. If you're right in front of the dumbbell rack, I'm going to walk in front of you, I'm going to put my shit, and I'm going to look you in the eye, and that's it.
I think that's, I wasn't expecting you to say that. But I feel the same exact way. It pisses me off when you have a full mirror and that whole dumbbell rack, and they're standing right in front of like the lighter, medium weight, what everyone uses. Like, you're not standing by the 120-pound dumbbells where only a few experts know how to handle. You're standing right in front of the fucking area that everyone wants to go to.
Yeah, between like the 20s to the 60s.
Is
always where it is.
Unbearable.
Yeah, and you're like some fucking douchebag doing like hammer curls with momentum.
With momentum too. Yeah, and they're moaning.
Yeah,
it's just fucking crazy.
Just don't be a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like that is a dick move, in my opinion.
No, it's 100% factual. It's a dick move. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself having more, not issues, but do you find yourself seeing that happen more with the young kids or the older guys?
It's universal.
You think it's universal?
It's universal. The young kids more so, like my pet peeve with them, but I put it in quotations because like I was young once too, is that they'll all pull up and they'll hog something with their boys and they're mainly just talking. Like when I was younger, I used to do that too. So I'm like, damn, I could really use that bench right now, but I don't really judge them because I was doing the same exact shit, right? And I feel like nowadays the gym is kind of a little bit more of a social club. Like you don't really see people just everyone getting after it. It's a lot of socializing and stuff like that. And you know what? If you're not a bar person and you want to meet people with similar interests in the gym, I'm not going to hate on you for that because I love the gym too.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll be chatting in there too. So like,
Yeah.
I really can't judge them. But I feel like with the young kids, that's their main thing is they'll be socializing around this, a machine and not really, taking their time. They'll be on it for like 30 minutes or like a rack,
You have to find that healthy balance. Like you could chat with people. Like I don't mind when people chat, but like keep it to like 2 or 3 sentences. Unless he's like a good friend you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Keep it short and sweet, man.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 70-30 split for me. I think for my gym where I work at, it's 70% older people that are getting in the way, and then it's 30% of the kids. Because if you're walking in, you don't really know. Like people could quickly tell if you know what you're doing or not. So like for people who've been going to the gym very long and they see that newcomer, and most of the time you're not gonna get annoyed with them.
No.
You're just gonna be like they don't know any better, whatever. But like the guys who are there every